This video has been banned by YouTube. Most of the content of this video is from a video I posted a few months ago, but it was banned from YouTube. But I've trimmed off the tiny little section that got it banned, so you can still see the vast majority of it and get the important content from it. Now, the video is basically about this book, Queer: A Graphic History. The book's appalling. I'm going to detail that in the rest of the video. And the reason I'm making this video in particular is that this book is in the school library at Kinloch Burby High School in the far northwest of Scotland. Now, my previous video on it got banned for ridiculous, unjustified reasons to do with alleged invasion of privacy, defamation, or total nonsense. So in this video, of course, you'll see there's no reference to any individual people at all. And nothing that could possibly be regarded as an invasion of privacy or defamation. It's just telling you what's in this book. So you can now watch the banned video, and then there will be updates about this coming in the days to come, about developments with this story about the book and the school library. So here it is. Queer: A Graphic History. I'm going to show you some things from the book. I would say it's very possibly the most degrading, disturbing and degenerate thing I've come across yet in Scottish schools, and that is saying something. If you continue watching, there are some sketch images that you might find distasteful, but there's no graphic photographs or anything like that. So here we go. So the book says we might consider sexual orientation in relation to other dimensions, such as preferences for certain, and then it says certain ages. So some people like older people, some people like younger people, some people like even younger people. A bit suspicious of this. Power, again, talking about sort of domination in sexual relationships, I mean, just perversion. But then it gets worse. So certain species. So your sexual attraction might be to a certain species. So it's basically normalizing bestiality. And it also says a certain number of participants. So you might like sexual relations with one person, or two people, or three people, or seven people, or one person, or no people, or whatever. It's entirely up to you, school children, who are reading this book. So we've got this table to help the children to understand they might be attracted to different types of bodies, a different number of partners, one or more, again endorsing polyamory. Again, the age of partner, maybe you like older people, maybe you like younger people, or younger still. Role taken, again, just presenting sort of domination, masochism type thing, just as though it's a normal part of sexuality for you to decide what sort of thing you like. Not treated as what really it is, which is a perversion. Right, just to set the tone of the book, it says not gay as in happy, but queer as in, well, you can read that for yourself. And the children in the library in John Naples Campbell School can read that for themselves as well, to help them to form their attitudes and values in relation to sexuality and gender. Just when you're thinking it couldn't get any worse, how about this? So this is a picture of a boy looking at pornography on his computer. Mum is bursting in saying, porn is dangerous, you'll get addicted. Quite right, Mum. But no, the book explains that Mum is wrong. Because the boy's thinking, my current moral panics about online porn seem as bizarre in a century's time as anti-masturbation devices do today. In other words, Mum's going to realise eventually she's been really stupid and there's absolutely nothing wrong with watching pornography. And that is the message in this book in a school library. Right, the book says many of the currently listed paraphilias, abnormal sexual desires, are very common, are practiced by people consensually and associated with psychological well-being, so why regard them as abnormal? So again, this is talking about fetishes and various types of perversions, and the book is saying that actually might be quite good for you. So why not have a go? Why can't they be completely accepted? And we've got a picture there to illustrate the point. Now, it says that researchers found that rigid adherence to masculine and feminine gender roles was not psychologically healthy, that it was actually better for people to be androgynous. So being typically masculine, typically female, typical boy, typical girl, that's a bad thing. It's better off if you're some sort of mixed up in the middle sort of person. And then we've got this picture. Again, let's just remember, this picture is in a book in a school library in Scotland. This picture is in a book for the children in a school library. Let's just move on from there. Right, the next message from the book. Perhaps institutions like marriage should be questioned, not joined. How about that then? So it's saying basically marriage, don't get married, question marriage. There's something wrong with marriage. You're better off realising what's wrong with it than actually getting married. What a destructive message to deliver to children. Appalling. To take away what for the vast majority of them would be their greatest probability of happiness through life, marriage. They say, no. Queer theory overrides that. You don't want to be getting married. Because open non-monogamies have been suggested as potentially queerer and more ethical ways of relating than marriage monogamy. In other words, committing to one person, well, that's old-fashioned. That doesn't fit in with queer theory. It's much queerer, therefore much more ethical. It's a better thing to do to have lots of sexual partners. That's what the children are reading about in this book in the school library in the north of Scotland. Right, the book goes on, let 1,000 categories of sex, gender, desire bloom. Through that proliferation, we can undo the privileged status of two and only two categories that are currently treated as the normal and natural. So you've got that message, kids? The idea that you used to have two people in a sexual relationship, we're moving beyond that. And that's a good thing. Then we've got an illustration to make the point. Right, how about this from the book? Women are blinded to their own oppression as heterosexuality feels like a natural way of being or a positive choice. But actually, it's an institution. I'm not even going to try and make sense of that because it is just postmodern gibberish. But the basic idea is heterosexuality, that's something that women are sort of tricked into somehow, but by society. And we need to break free from that. Again, just to re-emphasise that this is the message to children in the library in a school in Scotland. Right, the book also says, authors have pointed out that heteronormativity is intrinsically linked with neoliberal capitalist notions of what makes a successful self. In other words, like the LGBT or queer agenda, it's political, it's anti-capitalist, it's extreme left-wing. Perfectly open about it, but of course that's no bar to it being in the library presented to children in a school in Scotland. And it says, antisocial queer theorists advocate adopting a deliberately antisocial stance. Instead of claiming gay pride, we should celebrate queer shame. You got that, children? Good. This book's been provided by the taxpayer to educate you while you are at school. You should be celebrating queer shame. Well, since that video was published and banned, I've taken the matter further about the book in this school library in a few directions, and I will make another video very soon to provide these updates and to tell you what's happened. I say it's extremely concerning, so watch this space. I'm sure you're all subscribed already. Keep your eye open, and there will be an update coming soon. Thanks.